Well, we're back. This is now we decided season 1 of the newly rebooted Three Lawyers. We're still debating the topic of the title. Maybe we'll bring our guests into the conversation. I call it Three Lawyers Eating Sandwiches, the podcast, season 1, episode. Well, I don't know if it's 2 or 3, 2 with an asterisk, I suppose.
An asterisk. We have one of those pilots that's never been seen before. Someday, if we ever get any kind of audience, and
what would that mean?
Clamor.
What are we shooting for? Maybe that's something.
Millions.
No, well, I mean, we'd love that.
No, I don't know.
But what do you think? What is the number that you think that's achievable and that we could actually get?
Someone more than Ed's mother or someone who knows Ed's mother.
You would say, wow,
you'd be lucky to hold on to her.
I'm really proud of what we did. How many people?
I'm proud already.
Let me tell you something. I agree with it. The act of this is the act of creation. It's taking something that never existed in the world before, and now it exists. That's where the satisfaction has to lie.
That's right.
If you're going to base it purely on how it's received, then you're going to spend your whole life just seeking the approval of others. That's no way to live. That's not freedom.
You have just
That's not art.
You have described human nature.
Yeah, I know, but we got to get over that.
You have to suffer for your art.
No, I want to, but
I'm not going to measure the success of this by how many people listen. I'm going to measure it by, was I satisfied with the use of our time? Did we go on there and whatever we said to each other, did we get something out of it? Was it enjoyable? Was it valuable?
Therapeutic.
The Buddha speaks.
That's right.
It,
Listen, I think these are aspirational goals.
They are.
We don't care what you people, if anybody ever watches this,
you
turn
can't
it
say
off,
you people
turn it
anymore.
on. We could
Let me ask you a
less.
question.
But that's not
okay. But let me ask you a
nature.
question. Would you rather have 10,000 people listen to it who love it, or 500,000 people listen to it who all hate it, but they listen to it, but they hate it?
500,000.
I take the 500,000.
See,
The sponsorship dollars.
I think I'd rather be loved by 10,000 than hated by 500,000
people. Could we make money off of it?
Well, first of all, there
that's
is
what you
no
need.
way you could get 500,000 people to hate you and no one to love you unless you're doing something pretty vile.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good already, and I'm not even trying. No, but it's
barely noon.
Don't you think that 500,000 people is a money making? And it's not that I'm Jewish
isn't about
and
money.
just care about money. I want you to know that
for money.
I
hope
want
nobody
Three
thinks I'm
lawyers
doing
being
this.
anti-Semitic
No,
maybe
no.
is a better.
But I'm just wondering, the business end of it. Would 500,000 people, would we make money if we could get an audience?
If
of
we could get that 500,000
Yes.
people to somehow get rear-ended, then I think we really have something there. Then
Wow,
I think that
this
there would
is
be a way
taking
to
a
get
really
money.
dark
I don't see
turn.
I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to have a platform so that we can talk about like whatever the hell we want to talk about.
I agree with you.
I want to focus local businesses, food.
Remember, we used to go out to lunch every day.
Yeah.
Yes, but when we
were
went out to
doing
lunch,
fine.
it was just the 3 meals, and now we bring the world into the lunch, and then maybe the business gets to serve.
You're going with it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich woman as it is a poor woman.
I'm just curious.
If we're going to do it, it's
if
just
we
as
could
easy.
make-
Yeah.
I just wonder what success looks like.
How about this? I would say it's unlikely we're going to make money from this, and so enjoy the process.
Yeah, you know what? I know this is going to sound corny. I just enjoy the fact that we're actually getting to sit down and talk about stuff instead of constantly,
I do too.
doing other stuff.
No,
It's
we
true.
used to. We
Hands
used
to
to.
yourself.
Those were
used to.
better times,
We
and
used to,
you
before
moved to Florida.
Before the
and
pandemic, we
Andy
used to
got
have
so
a
preoccupied
much
with
closer
minutia
relationship.
and,
Okay,
That's right.
then
I just want to, I want to enjoy
let's
this time
just talk.
together.
If we make a lot of money out of it, who cares? We'll give it away.
Yeah,
Listen, this is what I'm excited about. We have guests for today.
we do.
We have guests.
Good guests.
Iconic, I would almost say, or at least on the cusp
think
of
so.
iconic. I don't want to oversell.
No, over the cusp.
Oversell.
I think most people in St. Louis at this point have at least tried Strange Donuts. They may not know much about the people behind it, and they may not know anything about the other efforts that these folks are doing with
That's
Up All
right.
Night. And we're going to find out about a lot of other fun stuff. And from what I've been told, we're going to get to sample some of the goods.
That's right.
And I would like to sample them while they're still hot. So how would you feel if we jumped forward and brought them on?
Let's go.
So that we could eat.
And we also remind me, we need a toaster oven because I like hot food.
Can we get a
I'm
toaster
serious.
oven?
We can't get it for today, but I do want a toaster oven in here.
Yeah,
Here,
want
come
like
on
a
out. Are you
nice-
guys
I
mic'd
want
up?
like a nice, like a
We're
Black
ready to
and
roll.
Decker. Is
All
that
right.
still a good brand name in the world?
Black
of
and
things?
Decker.
When I
That's
was
a
a
fine
kid-
toaster oven.
When I was a
To me
kid,
it is.
Black and Decker meant something.
It does still does.
It still does?
Yeah,
I want a
Black
Black
and
and Decker,
Decker? Yeah,
toaster
for
oven.
sure.
Here, come sit.
Okay, I didn't know where you guys wanted us.
Yeah, you could sit on that side.
Sandwiching in.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. That's a great way of looking at it. You've made a sandwich out of the
Out
three
of you
lawyers.
guys.
Do you
Out of
know
the lawyers.
something? Just a comment.
What's
You're a big, rough-looking man.
I'm soft. I'm a sensitive
No,
man.
no,
Wait, wait,
I'm
hold
not
on.
the first person can't say this.
No.
I'm saying you are a man. You're a tough-looking guy.
But I don't look at him and say rough.
I
Would it have felt better if he had said rugged? I think that tends to be
Okay,
more of a
okay.
I
compliment.
don't care.
I
No,
think
I
that's what
understand
you
what he's
meant.
getting
well,
at.
of course.
Rough
I
is
didn't
good.
mean it as it, and it,
Why don't
frankly,
we introduce our guests?
Oh, this is good. This is like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
this is
This
the,
a good
this
episode.
is a big, rough-looking.
This is
man.
our bouncer.
I would say they would have called in the old days ruggedly
could've-
handsome.
What are you? You're about 6'2" or 3", right?
6'4", yeah.
6'4", and I bet you weigh about 220,
225 of muscle.
230.
Yeah,
And you're in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm in pretty good shape. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're a
It just
big,
goes to show you
rough-looking guy. I'm not
eating
gonna-
donuts is good for you. Is that the
It's
message
superfood.
here?
For 100%. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Work hard, eat donuts, be rough.
Introduce yourself to the crowd.
I'm Jason Bachman, and I'm the co-owner of Up Late and the owner of Strange Donuts.
And we have Nathan.
I'm Nathan Wright, co-owner of Up Late.
That's
How did you guys
fantastic.
link up?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What did you? Were you taking his lunch money
I was
every day?
No,
I mean, that's kind of
the
what it looks like. isn't it?
I was
Yeah.
paying him actually
him
to
upside
eat with
down by the
me.
end.
You know, I don't have any friends, and no.
Well,
but-
that's why, because
That's
if
you
you
and
would
I.
tone
We're in the
rough
same
look
boat.
down
Right,
a little
I know.
bit,
I was-
he
I don't
would-
have any friends,
he'd
but
be
it's by
more
choice.
approachable, wouldn't he?
Nate worked with us. I did these eating competitions, and I would win mostly meat, right? And then I would just have barbecues in the parking lot at World's Fair, and Nate would show up, and I was like, "Hey, man," he was super cool, and I was like, "You should work for us." He's like, "Yeah, I applied. You didn't respond to me." And
I've been trying,
he
yeah.
was like abrasive, and it was awesome. But he's the rough guy. That's the truth.
So
Yeah.
wait, now go back. You're in eating competition.
Yeah.
You ever
So
go
you're a
up against?
professional eater. What do you say meats? Which meats?
So,
now I'm fascinated.
Yeah,
This
me
might be
too.
the whole
That's fine.
You ever
episode.
go up against Kobayashi?
No, I had dinner with him though.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and
Does he
was
just
a
eat
very
like
dainty.
didn't
does
want to
he eat
pick up
like a
that check.
pig?
But he told me
That check was $4 million.
He's
he
just
said-
sitting
All
there.
hot dogs.
He said, "This is how you do it," and he told me the secret of eating. He's like,
can
"You're
you
not
share it?
Yeah, he was like, "You're not eating." A lot of people look at it as they're eating a big meal, but what you're really trying to do is fill your body. There's a difference. And so he was saying that the night before, like he doesn't do any kind of training, but the night before, you drink a gallon of water as fast as you can. The morning of the competition, you drink another gallon of water, and it stretches your stomach, and then you're just pushing the food.
See, people think training is just about weightlifting. Sometimes it's about stretching out your stomach with gallons of
That's
water.
it. Yeah.
Can you mention the name Joey Chestnut in front of Kobayashi, or does that is that considered an insult and he gets up?
He doesn't like it. Yeah, no, I don't want to speak for him.
He's a
but
competitor.
He's a competitor, and the I think that he thought there was some foul play with the way that he was handled. I think there was something where he was like they thought he was doping or something.
Yeah.
Is there nothing
What does that even
sacred
mean?
anymore? Even
oh,
in
you-
food competition,
Yeah.
it's a cheating.
What would doping even look like in
I have no
competitive
idea. How
eating?
could you do that? I don't
Listen,
understand.
you could put an extra,
yeah, a cow
compartment.
stomach.
Maybe you can palm the hot dogs and slip them down your sleeve.
Do you still do competitive eating?
I haven't. The last one I did, you said Joey Chestnut, I did a fried chicken eating competition, and it was served hot, and it like hurt my stomach.
I
But
felt that I did one of those, but it wasn't so much a competition. It was just me with a lot of fried chicken.
Dinner
I do
with
that
his-
on a pretty
dinner
regular
with his
basis.
mother on a Sunday.
You ever do the Pointers Challenge?
I have the Pointosaurus.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is is that a big
It's a
pizza?
It
giant
is.
huge
It's, I
pizza.
think 30 inches, but if you can eat it, you have to have 2 meat toppings. If you can eat it within an hour, I think you win $500.
And it's you and another person.
Yeah, 2 people.
what is
Two
it?
people
What
on
is-
on a pie? That's just
how
that's
do
not-
you-
No, it's like the size of
It's
this
as big
table.
as
You've
this
never
table.
seen a
Yeah, it's huge.
Pointosaurus?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it now, but there was a time.
No, there was.
No.
I could have had half of it.
No. No.
Let me ask you a question. How does throwing up
Disqualified.
factor into eating contest?
Yeah,
I
how long
don't.
do you have to keep it down?
I never get rid of the food. I use it.
But in other words, if you're in an eating competition
And you throw up.
what
Gone.
happens?
I think you're gone.
Oh, really? So they
yeah.
walk
You have
off
to hold
the
it to
stage?
It's
the
just
end of the
like if you're in a
competition.
hot pepper competition, the second you reach for the milk, you're out
gone.
of there.
Right.
Done.
Hmm.
It's like tapping out.
I
You
have,
tap out with
I
milk.
have a large appetite, but I couldn't. I mean,
You're
it's,
not a big eater, though.
yes, I am.
I don't think.
I have a friend of mine who was huge, and you never saw him eat, and yet I know he was eating.
though,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
No, I
In
may
secret.
eat, and I eat in not in my car at night, you know, but I eat in front of people. But
The
he
guilt is
didn't.
what makes you big.
And that's I don't know that that's true. I do remember when you and you're in pretty good shape now for you.
Well,
But
for
I
me.
remember you when you were in your worst.
I'm a big, rough-looking guy.
You are.
That's
But
what
when you were
I'm
at your
saying.
worst, and this is, I don't want to embarrass you because I don't think this is embarrassing. I've done the same type of thing. But for a period of time, you would make a stop on the way home for a free chicken strip from the hot food section. of Schnucks.
Upon occasion, yes. I did shame. There were some incidents of shameful eating. Like I would go to the drugstore and get I like Suzy Q's.
Who does?
You know,
Suzy Q's.
Yeah. I mean, they were really,
They really
And I could go, and I remember once they had a special where they had 3 Suzy Q's, and this was like
a third
heaven
nipple.
for me.
Now let me take it. If you remember that when you would eat those Hostess cakes and Drake's cakes, whatever, best part was the part that stuck to the paper,
I like that.
and you take your finger. Right, and you do the little scrapes, and you get the extra. I'm assuming
You know what
in the
that's
Suzy
like?
Q world,
That's
people
like
do that.
the French fries that fall out of the
bag.
container.
Oh my
in the
God!
bag.
Here we
bag
go. You
fries.
know where he's going.
No.
Oh
Well,
my
I
God.
just tell this story. I believed at one time I had made up a name for them,
Frags?
which were frags.
Yeah, see, I remember.
And I had a
Fries
friend-
in the bag.
I had somebody in the office who was more adept at computers to actually submit the name to the Urban Dictionary
Is it still
on
there?
my behalf. No, when she said somebody like 4 years earlier had patented the
But
name.
you know, I think,
really?
listen, I think that happens.
describe
the
fries?
You have
It's
two
like-
people who come up with the same.
It's like some monk
Imagine
Yeah.
the
in the
money you lost
Himalayas
out
in a
on.
cave who's
like
reinvented
Tesla
the
and Edison.
typewriter.
Now,
or something,
speaking
you
of
know.
food in a bag, I see a bag sitting in front of
Here it
us.
is.
I-
Oh,
I-
before we get
let's
there,
eat something.
I
I'm
want to talk
starving.
about the
I-
food in a box. You were asking
Wait,
me
the box
yesterday.
comes before the bag?
It does.
What's in the box?
Do they make
Fascinating.
a glazed cake donut? And I texted Jason. I said, "Is there any way? Do you guys even make? I don't even know if this is
Isn't that a
something
pretty
you
staple
generally
donut?
make."
It's not on the menu. No.
This is limited edition,
Yes,
and
because
he said
the
I would be
menu is
happy to do it.
Strange.
No, I don't.
Yeah. No,
a
they're
glazed
more,
donut
yeah,
is
so,
not strange.
Jason
It's just a
made
glazed donut.
cake.
But that's a good question I meant to ask.
Let's hear
Where
it.
did the name come from?
Strange
Your
donuts.
name's not strange.
No. Well, you tell people that. Sometimes I get annoyed. Like, where's it? What's so
Strange.
strange about the donuts? And I'm like, that's the owner's last name. But it was available on. It wasn't gonna be called Dogtown Donuts, and we're gonna open a place in Dogtown. But I was like, from the stuff that I've done, like you have to have a name that is ubiquitous. Is that what it is? You know, it can go anywhere.
Strange.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can't, if we open a Dogtown Donuts, you can't open a second one in Chesterfield and call it Dogtown Donuts. And so
We
came up
learned
with
that
this.
lesson when the St. Louis Bread Company eventually became Panera.
Right.
Yeah.
He was giving me crap last night about saying Panera. So Strange was available on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Gmail and all the accounts. So you want to give some people an idea of what the product is before they get
gotcha.
there. Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenal name.
Thank you.
I thought right out of the gate, it was
Could we
intriguing
eat a
because I
donut
love donuts.
while we're talking.
When I saw that, I said, okay, without even knowing
Especially
it,
if
it's
these-
telling me exactly what they're doing. They're coming up with their own spin
Right.
on an old classic.
What
I think
is
it's
your
a perfect
weirdest donut? The
We
one.
don't like branch out so much anymore. Last week we had a Monte
Got to show
Cristo.
it to the camera.
We had a Monte
Oh yeah,
Cristo
let's
that was
get
open to
a
the
glamour
a
shot.
Monte
here.
Cristo.
Yeah.
So you had meat in it?
yeah. So there was. Ooh, there they are.
There you go.
Look at them.
Huh.
Oh, there's meat.
I'm gonna have it.
I'm gonna take a piece of one.
Oh wait,
right
hold
now,
on.
too.
You know what? Actually,
No,
you
I'm not
want a whole
holding.
one?
You know what?
No?
I'm not going to hold on.
I don't
I
know.
know.
Jumping in.
Now you are. I don't know if Ed remembers this, but when you open, you really are a marketing genius.
Ooh.
That's got heft.
You know,
Yeah.
I remember when Strange first opened, but I'm sorry, before Strange opened, there was so much hype
It was crazy.
about Strange Donuts before you ever served the public a single donut.
great donut.
There were lines around the corner. People were very excited. And I think part of that was probably the name.
Seriously.
Thank you.
because it was at the very
That's a perfect
beginning
name.
of sort of these unique and craft donut. I don't know is there a word for these type of donuts?
Yeah,
Gourmet,
people say craft or gourmet or
Yeah.
chef driven, and I never like to lean on that stuff. I'm like, they're just good donuts, but
Yeah.
it kind of worked against us that we were so
Listen,
popular.
I'm under no obligation to say this. That is the best cake donut I've ever had in my life. Andy, take a bite.
I'm going
so
to.
moist.
Although you
Wait,
do have
wait,
a
wait.
big rough-looking guy next door
No,
that
no,
made him. I mean,
You're insulated
Now-
though. What do you think? You think that's a good donut?
I don't think I'm far enough away. It's a great donut.
Okay.
But here's donuts.
It's moist.
Donuts
you know,
are
in the
one
middle.
of, for me,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
are
that's
certain
nice.
foods that are too good, that taste too good.
I know right where
and
you're
you
going.
can't, and it's frightening when you
'Cause
have
you
a
can't
large,
shut off.
because it's very hard to say, I had a donut. I can't stop eating donuts until I'm either sick
Or there's
in
no more
that
donuts,
diabetic,
Shock,
hey,
diabetic coma.
I'm drunk, I'm donut
Yeah.
drunk, or I run out of donuts.
Yeah.
And so it's a very interesting food.
They are. I would put
There's
donuts
not
in that.
many.
You know what it is for me?
It's like potato
Dip.
chips. Yeah, dip.
Dips, yeah.
I'm burning through until that dip is gone, or I better not start at all. I cannot shut myself off when there's dip.
I want you to appreciate this. Not on the menu. Made these with his own hands about an hour ago.
No, it's
just for
a
you.
great
phenomenal
donut.
donut.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Right
I
on.
appreciate
it really
guys.
is good.
Thank you.
And so I assume anytime I come in, you'll jump back.
We'll
there.
make them for you. If
Well,
we
a little
can, we will.
advance
That's
notice.
no anybody when they come in and they have a request. If we're constantly baking, and so if you want something, we'll make it for you if we
Oh,
can.
don't promise.
when
That's the truth.
when did you know? You could have gone into any area. You were going to open a place. You obviously have an admiration for food.
Mhm.
When did you know it was going to be donuts? And did you consider anything else?
So I had hot dog stands outside of bars. That's how I paid for college. And then I have a furniture company. We sell furniture to universities and hospitals. And I was going and buying donuts all the time to take to customers. And they said, they knew me as the hot dog guy. And they're like, now I'm going in suited and booted. And they were like, why don't you buy our donut shop? And I said, let me think about it. And then a buddy of mine said, why don't we start our own brand? And so I was like, I know how to do business stuff. He did not. And I'm like, I'll put some money in. I'll show you how to run a business. 6 months later, like, buy me out. I'll keep a little bit of equity in the business. And then I stuck around and they didn't. So, yeah.
Any thoughts on taking it bigger, national?
For sure. So we had stores in Mexico City, Mexico, and we were looking at franchising, and there were plans on Oklahoma City. There was a bunch of different places that we were going to go, and I've kind of like hit a pause on that for a bit. We did just open at Del Mar and Skinker, and so on the corner of Del Mar and Skinker,
Where?
we haven't
Yeah, Del Mar
where
and Skinker.
Chicken Out was.
Oh, that's not there anymore?
Yeah, directly on the corner of Del Mar and
Okay.
Skinker.
Well,
And,
I'm very happy that you're there, but I'm a little disappointed to hear the
Oh.
Chicken Out is gone.
Chicken Out is good. You can still
Yeah.
get them at the Blues Stadium. You know, when you watch the Blues or
they
any
stay
kind- yeah. And so I think that
And do you have something in the Blue Stadium too, or not anymore?
we've done for playoffs. We'll activate a little booth.
Soccer?
I wish I kind of screwed up on that.
Really?
I'll say it, whatever. I don't care. I don't like to talk bad about people. You know, and if I'm going to say something about somebody, I usually say it to them. You know, and I'm not like I'm walking around saying
Right.
bad things to people. But I talked bad about this guy behind his back, right? And then I felt bad about it, so I called him. I was like, "Hey, I was talking bad about you, and I apologized." You know, like
Wow.
character
Never hear about
assassination. And he was like, "Man, I'm sure a lot of people talk bad about me, but you're one of the first people to call me and tell me that you did."
And then it hurt.
And was it well received? I mean, it sounds
We
like
had a
it was
great
well received.
conversation. And I thought, I was like, man, this person said, a lot of times I don't know what I'm saying. Something happens and I happen to be the leader of an industry. And so I'm the first person to get asked the question, and I'm still figuring out what I'm doing. And so I don't even know yet, and I'm pressed to make an answer. And I was like, man, I can sympathize with that.
Yeah.
It takes me a long time to process things, and I can't imagine like on the spot having
Did
to,
he
like,
know you had talk bad about him?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I
I think
see, I
I think it's kind of a great move.
Well, it didn't turn out great.
So we're not in the soccer stadium. Mostly.
No, but it's not because you confessed this sin to him. I mean, it's
Who
It
knows?
sounds
Who
like
knows? Yeah.
sounds like he believes it may well.
It might be.
well. Then the
But-
lesson is keep.
I think we start an online campaign, Strange in the Stadium. Let's get you in there.
You know,
I tried to be, I was like, I wanted seats. And I was like, I'll advertise. Anyways, they had a lot of stuff going on. I'm happy for their success, and it's going awesome.
Have you been
for
to a
lot of
game?
people. Oh my God, it's insane.
I have not been, but people describe it real, like people have been to a lot of sporting events. I've heard them describe it as really one of the greatest sport experiences of their life. It is supposed to be fantastic, and I feel like an idiot for not.
I went to the home opener this year, and it was the first game I've gone to, and it was phenomenal. They did it right.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk over the food.
Is beautiful.
Because we don't have a toaster oven.
Nate, you want to tell them what you got?
Nate, what do we got in there? Can we call you? Do you go Nathan or Nathan? Or
Either
Nate?
way, whatever you guys want.
I like Nate, but Nathan was my grandfather's name.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
Nathan was my uncle's name.
What do you?
We got a bunch of Nathans in the
They
house.
call it. Wait. He's the one they called Uncle Doggy, right?
That's
because he
correct.
liked the dog track.
Oh, because of hot dog.
I don't
Nathan's
know.
hot
He was
dog.
betting.
He
I
may
think
have been
so. I thought
just
that's
like he liked.
I thought that's what it
Nathan's
was.
hot dog?
Nathan's hot
No,
dog.
God, no.
Are you think we'd be here doing
Yeah,
this?
right.
Yeah.
And it would
Hey,
have come
Steven.
up when you brought up Kobayashi. I think we
Steven,
would be like, oh, by the way.
you got a remote camera. You might want to catch this. But
We'll talk you through it. I heard somebody doesn't like eggs.
Yeah, I don't. But are there any that don't have eggs? I mean, I'll
I
try
was
them all.
told to leave.
Here we go.
I was told to leave.
however,
the egg
are we going to cut these
All of them?
sandwiches?
Do they all have eggs? Are they all egg-based sandwiches?
Oh, look
There's
what
an
I
egg on
found
all of
taped
it.
to the underside of
Oh
the
my
table.
God, what is this?
Good.
The money's getting stuck to the gum under the table.
Now I know how we stabbed that guy last episode.
Yes.
That's I mean, where did this come from?
It was
Under the
taped to
table. The BEST. There you go.
Okay, well,
the
what
best.
tell us what we're looking
You
at
got-
here.
Get him, Nate.
There's 2 bacon sandwiches.
We call them a
What's
Jeff
on the
Sandwich.
bacon
Yeah.
sandwich?
It's bacon, egg, cheese, and then late sauce, which is like a habanero aioli.
Oh, there's
and
a
then
you have
blackberry
your own
jelly.
sauce.
Well,
You have something will you hand me one of those plates, please?
I think we need to mention that these are not
Actually, a few
items,
of them.
obviously, at Strange Donuts.
No.
These are
Oh, yeah.
Up All Night. Talk
Explain
about, Nathan, why don't
we're-
you tell us what Up
yes.
All Night is about?
I just washed my hands, by the way. You know I'm cleanliness.
Trust you roughly.
Are you guys eating too?
Well,
I'll eat
sure.
some. Yeah, you guys go in first. Tell me what you think.
There's plenty of them. You can
Oh, there's
cut 'em
2
in
of them.
half.
cut
Okay.
them in halvesies. Up late, it's
quarter, so
a
there'll
late
be
night
room.
restaurant, 8 p.m. to
What am I
4
doing?
a.m., Thursday through Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, me and Jason,
Give us those hours again.
8 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Wow.
Thursday through Sunday.
So this is where you
What's
know,
it like there at 4 a.m.?
You know what?
I mean,
I'm not
busy.
sure I
There's
wanna know.
a ton of people in the parking lot. People,
Where
and
is-
what were they
is-
doing before they got
That
there?
parking lot pimping.
who
Oh, yeah.
knows? Like it's out at the bars, hanging out at their house. It's crazy. Like even like on a Sunday, people
Really?
come at like 3:30, 3:45, and I'm like, what were you guys doing before this?
I mean,
And it's
This,
just
this is
Drive
a
through at Taco
revolution. I
Bell.
mean,
Is it a scene? Is
this
it
some-
Oh
fun?
yeah. People were texting me because we'll have parties there. People were texting me Saturday or Sunday night like, "What's the party at Up Late?" Because we'll throw parties in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "There's no party. There's just a lot of people there.
Right.
That's it.
There's not a lot of good late night eating here.
There's not.
You want a piece?
I'll get in there. Yeah.
You're killing
so
me. That's not
Ed
even scrambled. That's a sunny
this
side
is-
up.
I love
That's
pointing this
beyond
out.
Me.
Ed hates eggs, eating them, but is passionate about making them.
Yes.
Is it a
Really?
texture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
And the visual of
Oh, you don't like
sunny
eggs
side
either?
up eggs.
I'll have to. I eat a bunch of eggs to
What's your-
stay big. But
What's your favorite way to cook eggs?
Well, I like making omelets for people.
Oh, I like that sauce.
I could have been an omelet chef.
Really?
If all jobs paid the same,
Mm.
I would have definitely been in the food industry, and I would have been making omelets in the morning, sandwiches in the afternoon, and working one of those Bananas Foster's little walks at night.
Where did you get the idea of this concept?
we were working late during COVID all the time, and we were bringing in our own food because a lot of places were closed. And Nate can cook his ass off and was bringing in awesome food. And then one day, I was like, why don't we open our own place? Because we would get off work and there was nothing to eat. And it was
And you're a
set up.
hungry guy.
Yeah, I'm like, I seriously, I love St. Louis, but like at 10 o'clock at night on most nights, I'm like, I'm moving to
Right.
New York or something.
You know, New York, it's even hard to find stuff late at night.
I know that now.
Not as hard.
But
no,
the,
but that's a.
What's that? If you can reveal
Yeah,
it?
the
What's
strange
Apple nice
sauce.
sauce?
I like that.
It's just like a spicy mayo, and then there's blackberry jelly that goes with it.
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
You're
got a
some sort of genius here.
that's a
Who would
great-
have ever thought about that?
That's a great.
Tell me
What do you
what
need?
the
flavor
tell me what the E is. Are you
E
eating?
is just
That's
egg and
the egg
cheese.
and cheese.
Just egg and cheese.
Yeah.
You want some?
I'll take.
So
some.
you
Okay.
made up. So
And then
you
this
did
is
not like go
sausage,
to
and
New
this is
York
steak.
and see a place open.
Okay.
At
Oh,
8
no.
at night.
Wait, do it.
So this is an
This is
original.
steak.
This is
concept.
our.
Do we have
this is
two
us.
E's?
I mean, this is a
no,
whole
just
new
one.
Okay. Let
concept
me
in
just cut.
restaurants, isn't it?
Right, no, for sure.
I've never heard of a
It's hard
restaurant
for
with
us,
these
you know,
hours.
So it's hard work to make money in a restaurant. You know, so we were like, you know, when can we serve something that, you know, where there's a hole
Let me
in
get
the
you this,
market?
Stephen. Get a
No, that's
side view.
And so every hour that we're open, we're profitable. In the
Ed,
early
give
evening
me
at 8
that.
o'clock, it's
Well, no,
you
that's
know
just
older
egg and
people
cheese.
coming
I'll
in
just
for
take
dinner,
half because I
and then
usually
it's
just
people
take.
on the way to bars, and then after bars, and then on their way to work.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, you get people at 4 a.m. on their way to work?
yeah.
I remember, that's always.
Because you can get a cup of coffee and some.
No,
we
that
sell
makes
donuts
sense.
too.
Coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in college, there was a bar around the corner from where I lived that it had some gambling going on in there.
Yeah,
And so
you were
you
never
could.
a part of it.
Well, I'm about
Okay.
to admit I was. Um, so they had these parlay cards, and you had to like turn them in by like whatever it was Friday morning. And there were a couple times where I went in there early and was always amazed. This was in Wisconsin, so less of a surprise. But like, you know, they open at like 6 a.m, and you'd go in there and there were people drinking, like sitting at the bar, just got off work. And I guess if you work an overnight shift, what's the difference?
the
But it
cheese.
was just always weird to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just cheese curd factory. And it was always interesting.
Is this when I thought you wanted to be a rabbi?
Can you
That was
imagine?
your other
You
son.
were, you were staying up all night gambling?
That was your other
Terrible
son.
rabbi. Be like the worst rabbi. So, so things are a success.
Wait, hold on.
When did you open?
I don't want to get too sidetracked. I would not make a terrible rabbi.
I mean, I think,
You know what? I take that back. I'd make a terrible rabbi.
yeah, I mean,
I just thought it through. You're right.
I just,
That quick.
Yeah.
No, wait, tell me why you think you'd make a terrible rabbi.
Well, I don't want to get too controversial, but I really don't like religion. So I think that's a part. No,
I think it kind of ends right there.
no, I don't know.
You could feel religion is being portrayed poorly in our culture, and you want to make it into a better thing. There's a lot of room for improvement in religion.
It is. I think the problem is
Very
think when
challenging.
religion gets organized, that's when it's a problem, because I think it should be a very personal, spiritual thing that everyone needs to think about and decide what it means to them. And I think when it becomes organized and you're told what to think, it gets corrupted and it just gets way far away from what religion
And this
originally
is why he would be a
was.
terrible
You-
rabbi.
no, but you have
No, you're talking about a personal journey.
you have strong leadership ability. You're a man that people follow, and that's really an important thing.
Fools.
I think maybe you would
Listen,
start a small.
Well, I'll tell you what I
there
would
are
do.
there are cults that could
That's what I
say the
was gonna say.
same.
That's right.
There are political figures that you could say the same of, but it doesn't mean that they're good.
I would.
No, they're good at being leaders. They may be people that lead people in a bad direction, but leadership, I mean, let's face it, there have been many figures in histories who were great leaders, but just used it for the wrong purpose.
I would also
That's a talent.
remember. You
People-
didn't eat yours. The last one.
because that one just has egg.
It's the same thing. Oh,
I want
This
the,
one,
the other one. I
this
doubled
one,
up
we're
on
going
the
steak
bacon.
next. You know,
I'd like to taste steak.
I think where we as Jews really fall down though is like, you ever been to one of these mega churches?
Yes.
They are like
yeah.
they
A lot
got
of
a
fun.
vibe there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They got a live band and all that. And Temple is so
I'm
like
turned off by that,
stuffy
though.
and
I disagree. These big churches, I don't want a cool tattooed pastor saying like, hey man, I used to smoke cigarettes too. I'm like, make this a little boring. My ex was Catholic, and I would go to Catholic church. I go to Temple too. I like Temple, but like I would go to Catholic church, and I was like, man, there's something cool about. It has been done this way. They've been saying these words for 2,000
I know there
years.
is, but let me tell you what I don't like about going to church, Catholic church, the wooden benches and the kneelers.
It's not so comfortable.
Like exactly. I
Well, are
mean,
you
if
kneeling?
you want to get not me, I mean, I'm
Okay.
Jewish, but if you want, I've done it, but to fit in, I don't always want to stand out.
he gets on his knees for no
I've
one.
done that.
Yeah.
Yes,
As
I've been on the kneeler.
You mean why?
Well, everybody else, I'm a conform. Everybody else around me was on their knees. I got on my knees.
You're clearly not Catholic.
I didn't go. I didn't go to take communion because I thought that would
Look
be
at him. He's
disrespectful.
clearly not Catholic.
I was just, when I'm in somebody else's house of worship, my first priority is to be respectful.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't take communion because I think you're not supposed to, so that would be disrespectful. But I also felt like if I didn't kneel like everybody was, that would be disrespectful.
Wait, does that mean when you go to somebody's house for dinner, you kiss their mother and father good night when they leave?
Right on the lips.
Depends what kind of
I have
party
sex
it
with
is,
their
right?
wife.
No,
Yeah,
I mean that's not a. I think
Out of respect.
No,
Yeah.
I think
You're-
that's not.
You're a
that-
man of service.
Are your
that goes
kids?
Now, this
beyond-
looks really good. What
that
else is
goes
on the
beyond-
steak
Yeah.
sandwich?
It's steak, egg, cheese, and late sauce and jelly again.
You like that late sauce on everything? I like that. It kind
That's
of,
our staple.
it's on
That's
everything.
us, yeah.
Hey, are your
Okay, now
kids
this is great.
Jewish-ish?
And I don't mind the egg on that.
They went to Jewish school and now they're in PSR.
Okay.
Which I'm learning about is a Catholic school,
Right.
private public school religion or something. So I'll go with them. I take my hat off. I don't do any of the prayers, but I'm like respectful of the space, and it's funny to see. I don't know. There's some things that I think about. This is the main thing that I think about with some religions, right? Is that I was in it was like a parent teacher, I don't know what it was, parent teacher meeting, whatever. And they were telling the kids, you've moved away from God and you need to come back to God. And I was like, they're kids. I don't think that they've done anything to upset God. I think God loves people and wants people to do well. And I feel like a lot of the guilt is where it screws up religion.
No, I
it's like
agree with
fall
you.
in line.
I think to blame the parishioners that they're not religious is, I think it's you're an organization that's designed to bring people to religion.
Mhm.
It's your failure, not the people that you didn't convince.
I'm up at 3 a.m. and I am really happy eating this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
this is just what you want.
Fantastic. And I where you guys, it's right behind World's Fair Donuts.
Inside a world.
And you still own that too?
I do. Yeah.
Now talk about that if you don't mind for a
No
minute,
problem.
because I love the fact when I heard that you had bought it,
I would like to see.
I was happy knowing that it was going to continue on and maybe thrive again. But I was even happier that you kind of kept World's Fair Donuts the way, you didn't make it into a strange donut.
Right.
Talk about that.
So I grew up, I lived on 39th and Lafayette, not far from World's Fair Donuts. And it would be like somebody buying the arch and putting another hump on it or something. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
that's,
Like
Making it
McDonald's.
yellow,
Right.
right. Yeah.
I feel like too often we give away our culture and heritage and, for money. And I thought I probably won't make as much money doing this, but that like people will come in still on a regular basis. And like we have a mural of Peggy and people cry and they all have these stories. And I feel like if I were to sacrifice, I mean, we still do well there. I'm not going to say that we don't, but we do. And I don't know. I think that's some of the stuff that like builds community. And if I could be a part of preserving that for people and make money, then everybody wins.
I appreciate that because
Tremendous,
we don't have a
right?
ton of St. Louis institutions like that. World's Fair is definitely one of them. And we ate at, have you ever been to Carl's Drive-In?
I was talking about it last night.
We were there last
Yes.
night.
Did you sit outside? When are they adding tables outside?
I just saw one picnic table.
There's a table
and,
outside.
and it is not where you want to be sitting.
I don't understand. I'm like, why don't you want to sit at the horseshoe? Like that's where you sit.
It is.
Okay.
And it is such it's such a throwback to another time in this country, but I've been going there since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think anything is different. It is identical.
No,
the food is still
listen,
great. The
we have-
women who work
women who
there
work there, but-
are the women I went
I was
when I
talking
was
about this
young.
last night. There's been like 75 different owners of that place, right?
Really?
Like they buy it, build it up.
We met
sell
the
it.
guy who owns it now. He bought it about 3 years ago.
Okay.
He's there with his daughter and seemed like a really nice guy, a young guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it, and it's just so great when somebody buys a place like that
Mm-hmm.
and
wants to
and you're a
preserve
good
it.
steward
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
You preserve this
And what else
institution.
I mean, I would say the same thing in St. Louis. Obviously, we have Crown Candy. I think would have
Yep.
that same idea that we'd all be saddened if an institution like that wasn't
Frank and
there.
Helen's may leave.
I think, Frank and Helen's is up in discussion now. I think like Ted Drew's is another one that's like, it's part of our history. We take pride in that, and you don't want to see that go away. Like
you
your
remember
answer
part
to
of
that
that?
was quite frankly the single best answer that in my mind that anybody could have said to that because that's how I would have been very sad, and I would have said like, listen, times changed. They were an old couple. I'd been there a lot, but It makes me very happy.
Thank you. We changed the coffee. The coffee was horrible.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Then
we have better
forget
coffee.
everything we
Yeah,
said.
right, we take it back.
Did we
You
try all? We
Philistine,
tried everything
you-
now.
There's a
Steak. Oh, the
sausage.
sausage is good. So we make
got
our
it.
own.
We,
so
we
make
didn't
our
go
own sausage.
BEST. I meant
No,
to.
there's another S.
Oh, I went ST. No,
Steak.
what did
Yeah,
I do?
'cause steak- We
have
Oh,
a
there's
guy, we-
BESST.
Yes.
Oh, I got
There's
it.
a sausage
Okay.
one. In
We have a
there.
guy who is one of Nate's good buddies, and I just call him Sausage, and that's like what he does is he makes the sausage.
Wait, this is homemade sausage?
homemade
we
sausage.
we
Oh,
make
man.
our own sausage.
I mean, you think about that. You got a place that's open at 4 a.m. and you're making your own sausage.
That's the cool.
That
Yeah,
has the potential to be a gem.
it's doing very well, and I think that it could live all over the world. So that's the goal.
Well, it's an interesting concept. Is anybody else doing it?
Not that
Not
I
here.
know of. No.
No, what is the even now? I enjoy, Billy G opened the Finer Diner out in Chesterfield,
Yeah.
but they don't do late night hours.
Have you
I
been
think
there?
they would like to. I go all the time.
Okay.
I live out there, so and it's nothing like Billy G's like in Kirkwood. This is like a totally different concept. It's a real old school diner. And I talked to them about it, and they now it is open for dinner in addition to breakfast and lunch. But I would love that's the kind of place that I wish that they were open really super late. When I was growing up in New York, like that, no matter what everybody was doing with their night, everybody knew that they'd wind up at a place called the Plaza Diner at the end of the night. So your whole school was there, no matter who you hung at, and that was magic. And I feel like we didn't have anything like that here.
What was the
But
place?
maybe
We had that
do
in
now.
high school, sure. Steak and Shake on in Richmond Heights. And did you ever go there?
I had, yeah. What was the place called though?
Parkmore.
Parkmore.
Yeah.
I remember. I didn't grow up around there, but I remember
That
seeing
was a
it.
big deal.
I'm sure
You
it
know
was
what?
huge.
When you were a kid, it was I grew up very close to the Parkmore, and no one ever went there. They went to the Steak and Shake, and did you know people like this growing up who they went out on Saturday night, they went out, then they went to Steak and Shake, and they were going to fight somebody in the parking lot
Oh yeah, dude.
every single
him.
time.
Yeah.
Really?
I was thinking about last night. I think until I was almost 20 years old,
That's good sausage.
I thank you. Or I'll tell Sausage that you said that. I love this.
That's really
I think
good
we should
sausage.
just sell the sausage. It's so
Well,
good.
your
Are
sauce-
you guys
you.
hungry? Do you want some? Get in here, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your sauce, you ought to definitely.
Jen, you got. Oh, Jen already got. Oh no, she's got donuts.
Here, this is the sausage.
The sauce I would
Boom.
bottle. And
What
the
do you got?
sausage I would
Two
sell.
sausage. They're good. Yeah, why
This is
not
bacon,
sell
egg, and
the
cheese,
sausage?
and that's sausage, egg, and cheese. You got
Just
it.
did
You know,
jalapeno cheddar brats
My
last weekend.
daughter's climbing instructor's name is Potato. I feel like potato and sausage should know each other. But what were you going to say? You when
Oh, I
something
would fight
about
all
you
the
fighting?
time. Yeah, I would just fight all the time, and yeah, that's it.
I knew it.
Yeah,
What-
I
what-
haven't
called it.
fought in a
You
long
called it
time.
the second
I
you
knew
came
it the
over.
first-
When was the last time you were in a fight?
It's been a while. I
Like
mean,
a
now
year, 5 years?
Oh, I mean, longer than that.
10?
There's been times. Most people don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I think most people want to. I don't know. This happened recently. I was in Forest Park. I was driving. I got my officiant license. I don't know. I was on my way to marry
officiant, yeah.
some people. This guy swerved at me. I swerved out of the way, and I was like, I didn't say anything to him, and the guy slammed on his brakes and backed up, and I was like, I'm not just gonna. There was nowhere I could drive to, so I'm like, I'm gonna get out of the car, and I got out of the car like, what do you want to do, dude? You're not going to do anything, And he screamed a little bit, and then I just, I called him a name, and then I said, "You're not going to do anything." And he just got back in the car and he drove away.
But that was one of those things where he didn't expect you to get up and just keep going up,
Right.
up, and he's like,
So that's what I'm saying. There's, there might be 1 out of 100 people who's really they want to fight, and I have no interest.
Can
in
I
doing
make an
that.
institutional inquiry?
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Can we curse on this?
That's a good question.
I-
Let's try to avoid
Let's
it.
avoid it.
Well, here's how
Well,
I
I
feel
just
about
wanted
curse.
to know
Is
what
it
he,
important?
what he said to the guy.
I called him the P word. I called him
Which one?
Oh,
a pussycat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
could say pussycat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
So I said that to him.
we need
That's
to
right.
talk
Yeah.
about
So he
But
was
I
a
feel like,
tournament deal.
Yeah.
I feel like being assertive in situations a lot of times deters the escalation.
Yeah. And you know, and obviously at your size, it's particularly effective. But I think anybody who kind of has the confidence to go up and shut something down is generally effective at it.
You would have done what Jason did. You would have been on the ground.
No, let me tell you something.
guy
I
would've
won't.
knocked
I
you
have this
out.
thing because I'm a little guy now, but I have this thing where I channel Joe Pesci in my mind.
Okay.
What does that do?
Well, because Joe Pesci, when you picture him in Casino with the pen,
Yeah.
sticking it in the car's throat over and over, taking him down. It didn't matter how big the guy was.
Did you
So
see
when I
the
get
look
into
on
that
his
fight
face?
mode,
I did. I did see the
I
look
just,
on his face.
I
Yeah,
envision
no.
Joe Pesci.
No. But
He's rabid.
yes, you looked for the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you were acting, but I'm not positive.
What do you mean?
You made
just
a
glad you didn't
face
have a
that
pen in your hand.
whole
Yeah.
incident.
There's some.
You looked. There was some hostility.
Oh well, and I
Rage,
and I
rage.
and I thank you. I'm very. I
Just
can,
gonna
I
move
can
the knife
access.
back to tape it under the table.
I have the
Put it
ability
away, yeah.
to access my emotions very quickly.
No, you
and
did.
manifest
No,
them.
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm afraid that you have those emotions bottled up inside you.
Yeah,
I think we all do.
Don't cut
You know
off
what?
Ed Herman.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to find out.
Wait,
Yeah, maybe
Andy,
we don't know.
Change places
We don't
with
know.
me. And
That's right.
I'd still be just as close.
yeah, but you know,
be on that side.
maybe I could back up and get
No.
away.
But you used to like to fight, I guess. Was this like a thing of youth? Is that person no longer inside you?
No, I think it's always there.
Did
And
you
then,
really like to fight?
No, but I wasn't. I didn't. I wouldn't not.
He wouldn't
fight.
shy away from it.
Yeah.
So how many
He's a man.
actual fist fights?
Oh, hundreds. I don't know.
Oh, really?
man.
Yeah.
A lot of fights.
Yeah.
Did
You ever fight competitively?
I did jujitsu. I boxed, and
You're a dangerous man.
I don't know. I'll say all this to say I feel like there is no honor in just being a violent person.
That's
right?
true.
And I feel like it's like most of the time I fought is because I was insecure. And now I
Okay.
think what you're talking about is being self-assured and secure in
Okay,
yourself.
we've gotten past the disclaimer. Now
Okay.
let's talk about the fighting.
Okay.
How many,
Have you
how
ever just
many-
left anybody behind
yeah,
on the ground
how many
unconscious and be
just
like,
one
that's right?
punch and the guy lights out?
I'll tell you a story. I got into a fight. This guy one time. He was a all-American college wrestler,
Ooh,
Okay.
that's right.
and this guy, my friends were black. They caught one of my friends. They said some bad things to him, and hit him. And then we were playing basketball at the park the next week, and then this guy shows up, and I was like, "Hey man, let's get out of here." And he's a real life tough guy. I mean, this guy goes to school for free to beat people up,
Wow.
And so
Real problem.
he pushed me. Like, what do you want to do? And when he pushed me, I was like, oh my God. Like, this guy is
shoveling
strong.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And then I put my hands on him like this. I was like, come on, man. And I would never talk, you just fight. But I put my hands on him like I wouldn't have even moved the water bottle. And then when he came to push me again, I just rocked him. I hit him two-piece, boom, boom. And I knocked him out. And he fell towards me. And I hit him once on the way up. On the way down, I hit him. And then he was on the ground. And then his friends looked like they were going to come after me. And I was just like, this is your bull here. This is your toughest guy. I just knocked him clean out. Leave. You guys need to get your friend to leave.
This is like Jack Reacher.
But
you see that?
this
with
guy,
that group of
this
people?
guy came to, and he beat the shit out of me. Okay, he got me on the ground, and like the bottom of my foot was touching the back of my head. And he beat me up so bad.
Wait, when did this happen?
He
This is a
came
while-
too.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
No,
you-
the
you
same
did-
day.
This is I knocked the guy
Moments
out.
later.
See, and that shows you when you knock a guy out, you
Get
gotta
out
kill
of
him.
there.
You gotta kill him or get out of there.
You got to get BC. You got to get out of there and
hear
make,
that?
make a
Don't
phone
bring
call
us
to the
into
lawyer.
this.
Did you hear that? What he just said?
What's that?
You got to kill him.
I know, that's
his.
what happened. No, Ed, not Jason.
He had
No.
him killed him. No, I'm very concerned about him. He's, with this.
I guess just don't get on my wrong side. I don't know. I don't know what
he's
else to
over
tell
here.
you to protect yourself. Is walk a line, man. I got a question for everybody because this is something that
Wait,
happened
are
this
we
week.
through with the fighting?
Yeah,
I thought
we
I found
definitely
that
am.
fast.
We can get back to it.
No, we belabored it.
I don't think so.
People usually
but I
lead
don't
with their
wanna
best
offend you.
story, so I'm guessing that was it. But here's what I want to know: what annoyed you the most this week, or in general, like just something that and the pettier the better, because I think most annoyances are petty because we use other words when things are worse than that. I think an annoyance by its nature is petty.
And I assume it was 3 a.m. in the parking lot.
What got that?
This was over. Last
He had it
weekend.
right there.
Oh, Nate gets fired.
Yeah, listen, because we all get annoyed.
Trigger. It doesn't take much to get me going.
Are you a fighter too?
Nate's a brace.
Hey, look at me.
You never know.
You gotta
I like
use
to
my
talk.
Joe Pesci method.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
Yeah,
let me
we're
be
in
an
the same
inspiration to you.
Go
Nate
ahead.
will slice you up though with his tongue. Like, he'll say things that'll stick the rest of your life.
That's
Me.
me.
That's me.
This guy came up and he took some food that wasn't his and went next door. And I went over there, confronted him. He acted
Nate followed him to another business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm ready.
in other words, he stole food from
He
your
stole
restaurant.
some food.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, that is annoying.
What did he do,
So
though?
what happened?
Wait, but what did he do exactly?
Was it an accident? Did he think it was his bag and he took it?
He knew what he was doing.
Okay.
So he just grabbed the wrong, like a food that wasn't, he didn't order. He just grabbed food.
Yeah, it's
that
like when
was-
people go into bread company and they take it from the
Exactly,
rapid
same thing.
pickup. Yeah.
And so I went next door. Hey, did you take some, did you just eat some food? No, what's up, late? What's up, late? He was hammered. We started kind of going back and forth. I was like, whatever, I'm done. So I went back next door. He comes over like 20 minutes later and he was like, hey, do I have an order for Hector? And I was like, we don't have any orders. And I was like, don't steal from us again. And he was like, you guys need to get better at this. And
Nate wouldn't give him his actual order.
yeah, no. And I was like, whatever. And then he just kept going and talking and like trying to go back and forth with me. And I'll stand there and I'll go all day with you.
Yeah.
But I realized like in the moment it wasn't it wasn't gonna do anything for me. It's some hammered dude that's like just being an idiot. And
When you say hammered, was he drunk? Or
yeah,
high?
he was drunk. Yeah, he might have been. He was probably high too. But so I just closed the window. He started cursing, and he stood at the window for like 2-3 minutes trying to get me to come back. And but yeah, I just walked away. And then he ended up coming back the next night and apologizing to the staff and giving us a $25 tip. I wasn't there. If I would have been there, that probably wouldn't have been the case. I probably would have said some things to him before. He got
But aren't you glad that? Well, aren't you glad that you weren't there? Because he obviously was ashamed of his drunken behavior, and he made you right by it.
Now, do you only talk back to these people when Jason's there, just in case?
Just in case, you got to have his back.
It's probably more often if he's not there, I'll do it. Like if he's
Nate
there,
gets
I kind
wild
of.
with people.
Andy, what about you? What annoyed you this week? What got you all PO'd?
You know what? I should have been prepared because I knew it was coming. Yeah, Skippy. But I promise you there was something.
Nothing annoys you. You're living the life of the peaceful.
God, I have it.
Okay,
Let's go.
Oh, I was mad about this. So my wife has some dietary restrictions. And so we have a gentleman who comes to the house and cooks once a week. Cooks
Just
some
like
food
regular
for her.
people.
Just right. Yeah. Just like regular people. So my wife, it gets worse. My wife, who is in Italy right now with
Just like regular people.
just like regular people. Really?
Yeah.
Are they together?
They might be.
Were they in that picture?
So
with
my
the
wife
brightly
is
colored
in
dresses that were
Italy
posted
this
morning?
week. And it occurred to me, there's no way the chef is coming this week. Why would he? Steph's out of town. And it's not like it's automatic. She has to send him like menu choices, whatever it is. So I'm assuming no chance. Yesterday morning or 2 days ago, the chef comes 9:30 in the morning. It is not an inexpensive service. So I text my wife, why is the chef here? Oh, I just wanted him to come and make some healthy snacks for the kids. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, because I know what he costs. Yeah. I get home and it's like some homemade graham crackers and some homemade goldfish and some cut up apples. And I'm thinking, I look at the ring again and he was there for 2.5 hours. So I'm adding it up in the head with the grocery. I was like, this is like almost $300 worth of snacks. I was so irrationally upset. And I'm like joking with my friends about it. And they're like, what's the name of the hotel? You should FedEx it all to her at the hotel in Italy. And I would have if it weren't for the expense of the FedEx cost. But I cannot tell you how annoyed I was by that, because I don't mind
God,
spending.
I hope you never have to experience anything like that ever again.
Wait a minute. What happened to Mr. The pettier the better?
Yeah, you did. There was a bait and switch.
That's fair.
God.
I had no idea just how far that pettiness could go. It's not what I anticipated.
$300 for some homemade graham crackers?
Yeah.
I was so upset, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was.
Well, let me ask you this. Sounds like
I'm still mad.
but all of your annoyance was towards Steph. Did you feel anything toward the chef? I mean, the chef knew what he was charging. I mean, cutting up apples. Where's the conscience here?
It's just he charges hourly. It's not his fault. I did have
Do you
some
know how many
annoyance toward
apples
the
I
chef.
could cut up in 3 hours?
And in fairness, I wasn't. I was a little annoyed with Steph. I was more just upset about the situation because I have a pathological aversion to waste. And the worst part about all this, no one has touched any of it except for the apples the baby will eat. Loves but the rest of it no one will touch because it's disgusting. Who wants a homemade graham cracker?
Now, I know he said he has a pathological aversion to waste. I'd like to show you his sandwich.
No, hold on. That's not waste. I don't feel like you have to join the clean plate club you don't have to eat every morsel.
You don't need all the samples at Costco.
He does.
What?
He does. He goes to Costco
for the samples.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the guy throwing off all
You
their
put your
numbers.
hood up and go back again? Or?
No shame.
I figure that's what they're
shames the
there
beard.
for.
I want to go back to something
they're not
earlier. You were saying
policemen.
free chicken tender at Schnucks?
Oh yeah, because he got permission from the store manager to graze there.
I have.
I'm not lying.
No.
He likes to eat a
I want to
little
know
while
what
he
annoys
shops.
you. I want to get back on the annoyance.
What Stephanie did?
Yeah, that annoys all of us.
That's
Steph, you
crazy.
annoyed all of us. No, is there what gets on you?
Oh, well, a lot of little
Everything?
things.
Yeah.
I'll
But that's
leave
the point.
my cap in the house, or I forget my headphones when I go to the gym. Stuff like that. Just the little.
The nobody to blame but yourself.
But somebody else.
yeah.
What about something somebody else did to annoy you?
Oh, I mean, people.
Not me.
No, people annoy me, but nothing is coming.
Maybe that's
I
a
was
wonderful
so
thing. Maybe you're at
fascinated.
peace.
I just want to talk about the fighting because no, and the reason is because I'm large, and at the time I was large, I was bigger than most people. And I never had a lot of people kind of left me alone. I played high school football and, people just kind of left me alone. And so I never did much fighting, hardly any.
It's
and
not
I'm
too late.
fascinated
I
by
mean, right
fighting.
now,
It's too
I'm
late.
No,
feeling
it's too late. I'm
motivated
I'm
to kick your ass.
But I'm too
Old.
You can just pay Ed
debilitated
to fight for you.
You know what? That would actually be kind of a good fight, you versus Ed.
Have you ever had
No pens.
you got your ass kicked from this one guy?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Tell me about what does that feel like? What is? No, I mean, and do you know it? Does it? Do you know from the beginning? Does something turn? Is it a lucky punch? What's the
that was
anatomy of
completely
getting your?
unexpected. So a lot of people,
This guy was a wrestler, right?
he was like,
Yes, you
Wrestlers
can't
are-
mess with
my son Sam came
I
in.
can't imagine
fifth in-
Sam could ever beat anybody.
Oh,
in
he
any
came in.
wrestling.
He
would
came-
take you down.
He was a tiger?
He came in fifth in
He
state.
doesn't look at
know
see.
the
He's
moves.
in our camp. He's like a Joe Pesci.
He came in fifth in state.
Yeah, so
I
then
mean,
why are
he
you
is-
questioning the little guy being able to kick ass?
No,
Sam's
I'm
very
not.
little.
I'm just asking about getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that hasn't happened much. Did
there
this?
hasn't been too many real slanted fights.
How did this guy do this? You mean he came from unconsciousness?
Unconscious.
That's what's
snoring.
impressive.
To come
Yeah,
back
and he had his hand draped around my legs when he was unconscious. And then he tightened around my legs, pushed me down, put me in some, it would be like thinking that I can go play golf with Tiger Woods because I'm strong.
Oh no! Wait, wrestlers. I would think there's two people you don't want to get involved with: a real boxer who can take a punch, which I would guess is an enormous advantage in a street fight.
Yeah.
When you can take a punch,
It's everything.
are wrestlers. Wrestlers, because like you say, they know body moves. They can grab you.
Right.
They can pull you down.
It's all about like leverage and
Oh,
balance.
yeah.
and again, experience. They do it.
My son wrestles, and my daughter watches him wrestle. And one time I'm walking through the house, and she grabbed me, and it's a single leg takedown. So she picked my leg up and put her hand on my chest and pushed me over.
Your daughter's how old?
She's 7.
She's 7.
She's 50 pounds. you know, and I'm 230, but because of the technique of it, she pushed me down. And I legitimately pushed me down. Yeah. So like now add that on to a guy who's 185 pounds and, you know,
is she strong?
What he's doing. She's crazy strong.
One of my daughters is so freakishly, let's make them fight.
Hey, don't. That wouldn't be a great segment.
Did you ever see that?
That's how you get viewership up for the.
That's right.
For the podcast.
Kids fighting.
Telling.
Right.
Did you ever see that TikTok trend where the mother goes in and they're like, "Come on, there's this mom outside and wants to fight me, and you've got to fight the daughter." So Steph did that to my daughter Coco, and Coco's like, "Really? All right,
let's go."
She was ready.
Oh, I think random. There used to be something called bum fights.
Those guys went to jail. That was horrible.
Which actually was instrumental in me getting my first divorce. Your mother really didn't like me watching this thing.
But you were strung out on bum fights.
Oh, I was fascinated.
You were buying the tapes?
No, somebody got them and brought them over, and we're sitting there watching, and I was fascinated. It was amazing.
I for the fear risk of having to listen to it longer than I want to, but I am curious. What is a bum fight?
A bum fight is these guys go out on the streets and they find two guys, homeless people, and they give them money to fight.
They paid them to fight, and they're often drunk and messed up. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I'd watch.
It was sadly fascinating, but very exploitive.
I'll be honest. I can't
see though.
And very sad.
The guy who started that. Did you see that he was on Dr. Phil?
No.
And he came on Dr. Phil like dressed as Dr. Phil with his haircut like him and everything. And he was like, "You're paying people to, you're exploiting people." But this,
lean into it. That was
Dr.
Yeah.
You're out here paying people,
you
taking
do a
advantage.
Very good Dr.
And so
Phil.
he was going on this guy, and he was like, "Well, that's exactly what you do, Dr. Phil."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Man, it's a different kind of exploitation, right?"
God.
Oh, for sure.
Somebody took the mirror and flipped it.
But the people aren't quite as vulnerable, I think, that Dr. Phil is exploiting.
You know what? I don't know that that's true. I mean, think
Phil's
about
taking
it.
a real
There've been
change.
some.
First of all, a lot of the people on Dr. Phil, Sam, my son, just sent me a thing where he is Dr. Gabriel something. It's a court television show that they hired him to play a urologist.
They hired Dr. Phil or Sam?
No, it's my son. A lot of what I'm
Does
saying
he have to
is a lot of these things, like he was going to be on Jerry Springer once, and a lot of that, like you
it's
were
active.
on, like you were on that dated cheerleader.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that's bullshit.
Like little. It's all
bull. Whatever, beef it out. But a lot of those things are just totally made up.
Yeah, all the reality TV. You know, I feel obligation to do this because we've dwelled on you fighting, and maybe you want this image out there.
No, I don't know.
But I think it's important that anytime I see you on like Tammy's show, and I know you a little bit personally. I'm actually surprised you're a fighter only because you seem to be sort of this very thoughtful, very like kind and compassionate person. You're always doing. I don't know who I was talking to recently, but
he'd like.
I would compare you. I have his phone number.
No, he'd like to.
I feel like I try to be a reasonably good person, but in a passive way.
Okay.
You are an actively good person. You are out there doing.
Thank you.
No, I'm very serious.
But I don't want him to think
actively out there doing good things in the community, helping people all the time. And I feel like if we're going to exploit that part of him, I want people to know like there's a totally opposite side as well.
Oh yeah, I'm
what
sure
we'd really like to know is what annoyed you this week.
Yeah.
And wait, I just want one.
I was going to tell people what a good person they've
One
done.
other question.
No, please.
One other question. You ever knock out a woman?
Oh my God.
My God.
Please.
No.
I'm just teasing you. How about a kid? How about a big kid like a 12-year-old?
I went on a man. I shouldn't even say this, but I took some kid. I went out of town with my kids and some of their friends.
You want to think about this first?
There was a kid.
We can edit it if you change your mind.
I talked to the parents about it, but this kid. We were in a big city. Okay, it's me and all these kids, and this kid wouldn't listen, and not like I'm some kind of like, dominating force. I'm a fun dad, right? And so, but this kid like kept running in these condos like that were on the street, like 8 years old, 9 years old.
Okay.
I'm like old enough to know you don't run in someone's house. And I was like, hey man, what are you doing? Like you cannot run in people's homes. And then the kid ended up, and there was a pee incident. You guys ever, I don't know. I'll pee sometimes in a cup in the car. I do that. But
Well, you got to get where you're going.
yeah, right. I'm like, I'm cheap. And then I'm also like, I like to save time. And so I don't want to pull over and go to the bathroom. So I'll pee in a cup. But this kid.
Ever think of a bottle that has a screw top?
Yeah, what do you do
something.
with the cup?
You throw it out the window.
Oh, it's all over
And
the
then
side
he
of
makes
your
our
car.
donuts with his hands.
No, it gets far out. But at the
Okay,
beginning,
let's
at the
not get
beginning of the
sidetracked.
at the beginning of the trip, the kid says,
way
"Hey, do you got a
over
cup
the
I can
can.
pee in?" And I was like, "This kid's awesome. Like this is my kind of kid." And so I have SUV. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, go in the back, pee in the cup." And I was like, "When you're done, hand me the pee." I wanted to throw the pee out. The kid, he's like, I see him quickly trying to like get the window down, and he's bobbling. And I was like, "Dude, give me the pee," because I wanted to get rid of the pee so it doesn't get all down the side of the car.
Yeah.
The kid ended up bobbling the pee, and like from the passenger seat to the back of the car, the wind caught
Inside.
it. Inside the car, peas everywhere. So I was like, dude, I will turn this car around. But anyways, the kid, we're on the beach, and so I talked to the kid. I was like, hey, love you, dude. Glad you're here with us. I appreciate that you're able to come with us. You're a good kid.
That's it.
I said, and I was like,
But somebody's got to pay for
and I
those
was like-
seats.
and I apologize. I was like, because I grabbed the kid when he went into the
He beat the shit out of him.
when no.
No, you know he did.
I grabbed the kid by his arm when he went into the
listen, of
condo, and I was
course
like,
he
you
did.
Right.
cannot. And then I grabbed my son also.
We have to grab him so he doesn't go in.
Right. And so, and I apologize. I was like, I didn't mean to grab you like that, but you have to listen. This is for your safety, whatever. And he's like, and I was like, you forgive me? And he said, I do. And I said, cool. We shook hands, and he was sitting there, and he like looked at my daughter. Boom. And he just punched my daughter. He punched my daughter in the chest. And so I like, this kid's 9 years old. Boom, I thumped him in his chest. And I was like, dude, you don't do that. You don't hit this little kid. And then I just sat there and I looked at him for a minute, and then I flicked him again in his leg. But anyways,
There you go.
that
See,
happened.
No,
you
let
hit
me
somebody
tell-
else's child.
I
That's
hit
all I'm
somebody
taking
else's
away from
child.
this.
I did. I was
You know
like,
what?
and
I'm on your side on this one.
I'm
That
thinking,
kid
I'm like, what
deserves
kind of
it.
animal am I?
Wait,
I
wait, he
had
didn't
a
get
couple of incidents.
So there was a big difference.
No, the flick was his second.
Yeah.
The first
Let's
was
not
the.
dwell
You
on
ever
it.
like
the
bump your
chest.
head?
No,
you bump your
there's-
head on a counter or a cabinet.
yeah.
And you have to.
Yeah,
You
of
have to
course.
hit the cabinet.
got
Yeah, but you're strong. There are probably holes in your walls.
Man, this is
There are holes in your walls.
Are
You've never put a hole in the wall? Come on.
I've broken a window, like playing hockey or something.
No. I mean, out of like a moment of like anger that you knew you couldn't direct to a person,
No,
so you directed
I
it to a
broke
wall.
one of our phones
Yeah,
at the office.
Smash the phone.
Smash it. You never smashed a phone.
I'm not that violent. Although
not
my
that-
daughter kicked a hole in her door.
yeah, I think
The
it's-
freakishly strong
Coco?
one. Yeah, Coco.
I think that
she's
happens,
strong.
and I don't know that that's a loss of control. I think because when I broke, I put my fist through a
Coco
wall.
throws a thing of pee against the car. Leave her alone. I wouldn't mess.
Yeah,
with her.
I'm telling you. Because she'll fight dirty.
Okay.
But I put my fist through a wall, and I looked at it, and I don't know how to evaluate that. Did I lose control in that moment,
Yes.
hold on a second.
what?
Or did I have the wherewithal to know that it's inappropriate to direct that anger toward another human being, but I knew I needed to release it, so I simply punched an inanimate
no,
object.
Was it in front of the person?
Was there another human being standing right next to the wall?
Only the one I was arguing with.
Right, but they weren't there.
Wait, but that just means you didn't lose total control
No, he
and
lost,
commit a crime.
No, he lost total control. for
No,
a
no, no.
moment.
I think if you hit though, if you're consciously thinking, I'm gonna hit this person.
Oh no,
I'm
not
gonna
hit
hit the
this
wall.
person.
No.
Just I'm going to release this anger in a way that
When
is
you
not going to
hit-
hurt.
Oh, then you
anybody.
lost control.
when you-
I thought you were saying instead of hitting this person, I'm gonna hit the
No,
wall.
I
when you
would have
hit
never
a-
hit the
when
person. I've
you
never
hit
been
a
in a fight.
wall-
I've never hit anybody.
When you hit a wall,
You're out of control.
You know that it's
But if
going to
you're
hurt
stopping
your
yourself
hand.
from hitting a person,
But he's not.
I think there's a little
It's
control.
not like the person was here
Oh,
and
that's
the
what
wall
I'm
was
picturing.
next to him, and he said, instead of hitting you, I'm going to hit. No, it's
not like one of these things where you come in right
because
next
he
to the
knew
head.
he was going to hurt himself.
How close do you get to the person before you can be charged?
What do you mean? Oh,
Okay, so if you're here and I hit right behind, do I have to make contact with the person, or
Yeah.
is the
Oh,
threat of
I-
violence
yeah.
enough?
Generally, you do.
Now, I think there is a difference between a civil and a criminal penalty for that. I think criminally, you probably have to make contact
And civilly, no one's gonna
before
take
you're
that
going to get
case.
charged.
No
I
one's-
mean,
no
there are
one's taking a no
extremes.
contact.
But you seem like
It
such a
depends.
nice guy.
Like, let's
we
say-
need to rehabilitate
No,
him.
no, no. Let's say Jason does that very close to an elderly woman and she falls down and breaks her leg.
Oh, that's different.
No, right. I think there are some civil situations. It's unlikely you would be charged criminally, although, again, there are probably some far-fetched
But
situations.
could we just
Sure, but
can
it
we-
doesn't happen often where you're just like, you know.
Can I just make one appeal to the audience?
Oh, you think there's still an audience
No,
left after
yes.
you spend 40
If-
minutes talking about a fist fight?
If that child is watching, would you call us? I think we may have. a
Oh,
plan
stop
here.
it.
People love fighting. Don't act like they do. Oh, speaking of, have we talked? I don't know if we've talked about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Very
I
excited
don't
about
know.
that. Very
Are you?
excited about it. Yes, I am.
You've got an opinion.
What do you guys think?
I
Man.
don't know what's going to happen, but I really would like to see Mike Tyson have that moment of recapturing that ferocity
Yes.
that he had in
Yeah,
his youth. I think we all
everybody-
want to see
I think
that.
most people are on Mike's side. He is. Talk about a guy who's rehabilitated himself. He really has come from an animal. From the instant he bit Evander Holyfield.
Yeah,
you might even go back to the rape.
now. To what?
The rape that he was convicted.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
he was
he
a-
really has come.
Yeah.
Did you see his show?
You know what
Very
I think
troubled
changed it?
man.
I
Did
think,
you
I
see
think it
his
started to
one-man
change
show?
with the movie The Hangover.
Did you see his one?
I did not see it. I saw bits.
I
of,
saw it.
I saw
It
him
was-
speak though. He came to a legal conference and was.
He
one of the
was very
speakers.
good in the show. I mean, he's a troubled guy, but he seems like a decent guy.
I think he's
You know,
gotten
he
to
tries.
a
He's
place
made himself
now,
better.
a
I
better
think
place.
he's matured. And
I hope
he
he
credits
just.
it to mushrooms.
I hope he just.
No,
beats the
this is
hell out of
pre-mushroom. I think he
all
was
into
on
those
this
things,
journey
yeah.
before mushrooms, but I think he aged. He stopped boxing. He realized he was vulnerable, and think of how he was
the
raised.
Hangover
Remember,
lightened his image. Didn't that help along with?
I don't
Rounded him
remember-
out a little bit.
yeah, for sure. But I don't remember the timing of The Hangover versus like his one-man show.
It was before it.
And it was
08, 09,
it was a very smart business.
It was.
decision.
He was still a little feared.
He turned himself into a marketable commodity again.
He's a likable guy. He. It's clear that he is a.
It's reminiscent to how George Foreman
He's-
kind of went from being this ferocious, feared guy into this lovable
Of course, you
guy.
make $130 million on grills. That helps
It does.
your whole life.
Now Mike Tyson's always on mushrooms. But anyway, who is going to win? It's tough.
Tyson.
You think?
I think Tyson.
Because you want it.
There's still, I just look at the way they both move, and Tyson moves like Jake Paul's very stiff. I feel like he's a one-dimensional fighter.
What does he weigh? He seems like he's kind of your size.
Jake Paul's a big
Jake
dude.
Paul looks big. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
how big he is.
I think he's bigger
How
than
much
Logan.
does Jake Paul weigh?
Yeah, he's not a little.
But he's also from
who's
what,
his-
210. He
210?
walks- yeah.
Who's
was
his
about
brother?
6'4".
Logan Paul.
Now, who is first? Who is the big internet star first?
I think Logan.
Yeah, but they sort of both
But then
came
Jake
up
Paul
on us.
eclipsed him. I
But
think.
this guy, my God, what a brilliant career he's had. This will probably, they say, be the largest audience for any fight ever. I mean, he'll make $50 million, $100 million on this thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He should. I mean,
That's great.
he's been doing this for a long time. They're great at what they do at making themselves watchable.
Yeah.
He fought Floyd Mayweather, right? Jake did.
Logan did.
Oh, Logan did.
Logan did, yeah.
But Logan, I think, is not thought of as a real fighter.
No.
He does more WWF stuff. But Jake, I think people who know boxing say he is not the greatest fighter that ever lived, but like is really actually a decent boxer. He can fight.
Yeah.
This is not a joke.
No.
I
He's
think
legitimate.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know that
You
there are
think
going to be
he's-
so many watch parties all across this
When is
country,
it?
maybe the world. I think it's in June.
Is it? Yeah, I should mark that on my calendar.
With the
'cause that's
money,
for
you
sure.
know what? I'm going to announce right here. I'll fight Mike Tyson for that kind of money. What do you
Not sure you'll make it.
Just think of how much you're going to inherit.
No, because I've thought, I feel like a lot of people have had that thought. Would I fight him for
For $100 million,
whatever.
The question is,
$50 million?
would I allow him to punch me one time for X? Because that's what it would boil down
No,
to.
because I think you'd likely die. Did I ever tell you this story?
No, I don't think so.
I
I wouldn't do it. It would kill you.
No. I don't think he would. I would like to talk to a neurologist.
Oh, I think it's very likely you would never be the same again.
I don't know that
Which
to be a
maybe a
case.
good thing. You know, I was in New York
I'm your
City
father.
when this is 20 years ago, and we're at this party, and I think it was like when the Yankees had won the World Series because there were a lot of Yankees players there, and Michael Jordan was there. It was crazy. and Evander Holyfield is standing like about as close to me as Ed. And he looks down, there were lights on the floor, and he looks down to look at something and he's reading something. So his head is like here, like directly above my knee. And I'm thinking, I could knock out the champ right now. But there is no chance I would have lived to tell
But
about
I'll
it.
bet you couldn't. I mean,
he could take
when
a
you
punch.
can take
No, with a
punch.
knee. I think you give somebody a knee to a head, they're
Maybe.
unexpecting
Well,
it.
you know,
Good
Holyfield
night.
is in St. Louis all the time. I think his wife lives here and her family lives here.
Yes.
I see him almost like on down in Soulard
I know his wife.
regularly.
So would you fight Mike Tyson or one of these guys? Would you do it for $50 million?
Nope.
I would talk to I would say yes, pending a conversation with a neurologist.
Well, you have less to live for.
yeah.
Oh no, that's true.
But also less of a need for
that's
$50
true.
million. What the heck are you going to do?
I would leave you a little bit.
That's
I'm
what
not
it would
even
take for him to leave me a
the
little
very
bit.
tough
Don't do it for
gentleman
me.
next to you.
No,
No, I would if he let's assume he's going to break my jaw.
your jaw is going to break everything.
I don't know.
I
Do you
don't know if
think
you understand how
You're
brain,
done.
one
brain
punch?
swelling.
Do you think that? I mean, I think
He would
could
break your
be.
neck. You're
I
done.
don't think so.
It might
Done.
break, yeah, it could break your neck.
Done.
Do you remember who was professional basketball? There was a guy who got his spine broke.
Oh, an internal
in the
decapitation. Wasn't it? Didn't Ray Mancini hit him?
You're talking about the very. I'm guessing a
Yeah, but these guys are wait. No. These are athletes.
No.
at the top of their game.
No.
You are
Mike Tyson
not.
is not at the top of his game anymore.
For the purposes of punching you in the face.
You know
he
what?
is.
Let's get
I was
let's
with
get
Mike
a
a few-
neurologist to be a guest.
Yeah.
I want to answer
That'll
this
that'll
question.
knock out the rest of our audience.
We got, yeah, right. I think we let's put a
What do you
pin in
think?
this and let's get back to it. I will. A friend of mine. I'll
Is
get
it
you an
done?
answer.
I'll say that
You're done.
if I think about this, okay, how hard it is to make money, right? Like I've made money, we've made money.
Yeah, money.
You work hard.
$50 million, how long would it take to make that amount of money if you could just take one ass beating and be
Forever.
changed a little bit?
Well, let's put
but
it
then
this
your
way:
grandkids are provided
from
for?
knowing that the world. That what percentage of the world has $50 million? How long would it take?
Forever. Indefinitely.
Right.
I mean, no, for $50 million, unless the doctor said to me, Terry, the chances are 50-50 of you being a vegetable, then I may not do it.
50%
But if
vegetable,
they
50% dead.
Very, very likely.
The vegetables,
Very
better or
likely
worse. I don't know.
you may break your jaw, but you'll heal up in a few months. Either, which is what I'm
But
guessing
even if you're
they would.
incapacitated, but for generations you provide
Yeah,
for
think
your
of the
family.
children.
But in a box like
That Jason may beat up.
in a big boxing glove, that's a lot of padding. You might be able to survive
I
that if he's
think
wearing a
Protects the
boxing
I
glove.
think
hand
I
though,
could.
of the boxer, not your
I
face.
think
Did you ever see that
It's
movie
still a
where the
cushion.
guy who had been attacked by a grizzly
a
bear at
pillow
one
fight.
point dedicated his life to building a grizzly-proof suit?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The testing of it.
Did you? Yeah. Where you just get like.
Yeah.
They were
flies.
dropping logs.
Yeah. Maybe you could get the grizzly suit for your fight. We'll build you a Tyson suit. You're done. Dead.
No, I think
Nothing
I
left.
would. I can't bet you, and I can't guarantee you, but I'm believing that if that was the situation that I would
Listen,
survive,
we can't get-
and I would take $50 million.
okay,
Oh,
listen.
yeah. If you know you're going to be
Folks,
fine,
If there's
for
somebody
sure.
out
No,
there
I
who knows
would
how to
believe-
start a
I would do
GoFundMe
it.
page, this is your opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's get a GoFundMe
GoFundMe.
to get Terry to take a punch from Mike
Or
Tyson.
at least have a computer guy do one of these
You know,
simulations.
and if you're a neurologist
I think-
willing to just post in the comments that he's in the clear, I think we can make this
I
happen.
mean, not that it's impossible that I would be killed or incapacitated, but the likelihood.
100%.
let's say
No,
that
I
100%.
don't think.
I believe that whatever the outcome, you would regret it, and you wouldn't have given up the money. And
Oh, no. I
no.
disagree with
No,
that.
No, I
if,
don't
if
know.
all you do is break your jaw and you're incapacitated for 6 weeks, you would not regret that for
I think-
$50 million.
Wait, you wouldn't
Listen,
do
I-
that for
I think-
$50 million?
no.
You wouldn't
First of
have your
all,
jaw broken for 6 weeks, $50
I've
million?
seen you do
I
a lot
would.
worse for a
Let me
lot
say
less.
this.
Yeah.
For one,
I've seen you
nobody
On your
humiliate
OnlyFans, I've
yourself
seen some of
for
it.
For number
nothing.
one, nobody needs $50 million. For number two, I earn my money and I have all that I need. I'm not taking a punch.
So-
I'm not
so
breaking
you
a jaw.
wouldn't know.
I have no interest in that.
Nonsense. If
Listen,
wait till the camera stops.
my
But you
happiness is
believe-
not
but you-
tethered to some fictional amount
It's
of money.
not about
No, I
happiness.
understand. But this is the Zen ed.
Yeah.
That we're living through this period of time of the
Yeah.
Zen ed.
Zen ed.
Yeah.
And so,
Zen ed.
you know,
Sounds like
yeah.
a prescription.
Ed from 5 years ago that who glorified money or
Well,
equated it with success. Yeah,
Wait
maybe
a
that guy
minute.
would have
Oh,
subjected
no, no,
himself
no.
to
do
bodily
you,
injury.
do you think,
Yeah.
you think you're in the majority or the minority?
I'm in the minority.
I mean,
but
Minority
I,
what?
but I,
The-
but I,
the
I hope for
59
everybody
the
to get to where I am. on that.
51-49 minority?
No, I'm in
Or
the
like
small
the
minority.
99-1.
Well, I don't know about 99.
Probably
I would say
90-10.
90-10.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in the 10%.
Okay, that's-
But I
that's
would,
fair.
but I would love to see more people
That's fair.
come over to the
I
10%.
think
Let
you're
me say this.
probably right.
I disagree 100%. You would do it for the money. Listen, I hear where you're coming from, and I agree
Wait,
that money does not.
Wait. You're disagreeing with him or me?
Him, he'd take the money in a second. I agree with you. Money doesn't buy
I like
happiness.
to see your kids
but-
in your others that you have
Hold on. Let me ask you a
responsibility
question.
for.
You like, and this is not insulting. I do it too.
No, I know. Listen, I like to spend, but I make
But
enough
it's
to
not
spend.
about spending, but it's
Would
also
you sell
those-
me your pinky for $50 million?
Oh, in a second.
you kidding me?
Yes, right now.
I talk about that
give
all
me
the
the-
time.
give me the-
I would
give
give
me
you
the
my left
knife.
arm
Give
for
me the
50
knife.
grand. I hardly use it.
50 grand?
Well,
Come on,
not
What do you need
dude.
your left arm
You
for?
can't. You always.
That's
you
not
always,
honest.
No,
you always.
No,
I
but the
would.
pinky 50 million?
Oh,
Yes.
I had
in
a
a
friend who was an
second.
iron worker cut his finger off. He got 30. But then,
Wait,
it
he
was
got
this-
30
He got
million?
30 grand. No,
30 grand. No,
30
I would do it.
grand.
I would.
But he
no,
was,
I wouldn't
then
do
he
it
was
for 30
always
grand.
insecure.
Well, what would it
He
cost
walked
for
around.
Wait, you'd
50
give your arm
million,
for 50
you
grand, but you
go.
wouldn't give her.
I'm joking, but I would easily give my pinky for $50 million.
50 million
Yes.
pinky.
You know what? For 50
All day.
million, I'd give my arm. At my age, I don't
Well,
need
at
my
your
arm.
age, yeah, but then of course at your age, why do you need a lot of money? It's just too much.
But because you're talking about other people. This is the most altruistic thing one could do. That you would, to take care of the people you
That's
love,
right.
you would sacrifice. I would do it in a
What would you do with the arm?
I'd
Eat it.
No, you can harvest the carbon and have a man-made, a diamond made.
Yeah.
You could stuff
you know
it
what?
like taxidermy.
When I had my
We
knee,
could keep it
put
for
on a hood
generations.
ornament.
I had
real
a knee
cool.
replacement,
That's right.
and at
An
one
old
point
Cadillac.
I asked
Yeah.
the doctor,
For the old knee.
"Is there any way I could have my knee? Whatever. I don't even know what it is. I don't know exactly what they take out and what they leave."
Yeah.
And he just said, "No, we don't do that."
Yeah, but you know what?
I would have liked to have had my knee.
He's doing something with the
Yeah,
knee.
what the heck is that?
What is
If they take out
selling
a
it.
body part,
Honey, guess what we have for dinner
He's
tonight?
carving it up.
That
Yeah.
lawyer's
It's like
knee.
scrimshaw.
I mean,
that guy on television's knee.
I think they should have given you the knee if you asked for it. That's your
I-
knee. You know what?
Anyway.
We actually have, because we're going to wrap up, we have special gifts for both of our guests today. The famous Brown and Crouppen swag bag.
Yes.
Let's
Yes,
go.
it is.
And hey, out of curiosity, what are we putting in these swag bags?
Oh,
Nathan,
these
you wanna
sweatpants are
pull out a few
legendary.
things?
Sweats.
These are legendary
We have
sweatpants.
sweatpants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we do?
But
Look at
Jason
these.
has been a Brown and Crouppen merch
I'm-
fan for a very long. In fact, I
that's
think that's how I met you originally. Is we ran into each other and you said hi and introduced yourself and asked about merch.
did we get
and you
sweatpants?
people see you all the time wearing
All,
merch.
all the time.
He loves it.
Now the beanies,
yeah.
the hats are great.
My son goes to school with a
Oh,
Brown
you-
Crouppen beanie on
You know what?
almost
You know
a
what
daily
I want
basis.
to do? Let's focus on getting a good Brown and Crouppen baseball cap. A really
I'm going to spend zero amount of my time looking for a Brown and Crouppen baseball cap.
well,
I'm just. No, I think we should
hey,
have
I'm not.
one.
I'm not going to argue with you because I saw that.
would
ring.
love,
How about this?
I would
Yeah,
love
right.
for you to find.
Yeah, I
No, it's
would
not
the best
fine.
baseball
It's,
cap.
I think it's more
Really design
create
it.
in your head. What are you looking
I know what
for?
he's looking for. He likes those dad hats, the soft hats.
Oh, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, dad hats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good look.
Can't we just say we want those soft dad hats with
But
the
I
logo
think-
on
Five
it?
panel.
Yeah, but
What
I
is
don't know. The logo isn't that. I
Oh, you
just
know
would
what?
like
You know what would be a
something that
nice
would-
hat? What if we did it with other businesses and we had like a bunch of little patches? You can
Like
have
a
Brown and
F1
Crouppen
racing car.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Is the BC? So I see on mostly SUVs for whatever reason. It seems like it's always suburban. A little BC circle sticker.
Oh, those
Is
are
that Brown
bootleg.
and Crouppen? What is that?
I don't know.
It sounds like somebody stealing our logo.
That's right.
You
But-
said
but
have
thank
other
you.
people seen these?
I haven't noticed that. No.
It's a circle sticker, and I don't know. Is there a school that's BC or something in St. Louis?
Boston College.
Boston College, British.
I don't know what it is. I see it on a
Yeah,
regular basis.
no.
I'm like, man.
Yes,
how-
that's ours.
okay. Yeah. All right.
There you have. Anyway, thank you guys
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you.
coming
Thanks for
on.
having us.
And in all seriousness, That donut was perfection.
It was wonderful.
The food's all
These
great.
sandwiches are outstanding, and I'm guessing for that late night crowd, this is exactly what they want in their belly.
And you seem to both be charming, fine human beings that I would not be afraid to spend any amount of time.
You don't
with.
think this one's going to take to his fist?
God, dude, I feel like this. I
Leave
need
him
a
alone.
PR
Leave the guy
agency after
alone.
this.
That's right. I tried to do it. They didn't want to hear
No,
about it.
I'll have you know, I came here from a PTA meeting. I'm the president of.
Would you
the
beat
Clayton
up
School
everybody in
District.
the PTA?
I beat up everybody.
That's how we got elected. You said,
Do the
I'm the president now.
Do the PTA
gonna
leaders
stop
from
me?
each of the grade schools get together like a
shoot, what time is it?
They do.
power? Do they really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
1:30.
Okay. Whew. I got to get my dad at the airport.
Oh,
No, let me tell you, no, we had an exchange this morning, and I assured him that I would not be late.
what time do you have to get them?
And he flies them in cargo.
2:45.
Right.
I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to get that cargo, that box open wide so he can.
You can
still
bring him some
breathe.
graham crackers.
Listen,
or some goldfish.
Yeah, get him
and
some
it's-
$1,000 goldfish.
Do they look like goldfish?
No, they
little
don't-
mustaches
please.
on them.
I
Took a
can't
little
believe
extra time.
I've
That's
just today gotten over this, and I can't believe I brought it up. I'm trying to put it behind me.
Oh, you know
I'm
what?
so mad.
You know what? I think
mad
one
for you.
day
So it's such a waste.
I was here
I'll bring.
and,
Actually, I should have brought him.
and they gave me. You sent that guy over to me,
There was a different person. Yeah.
but and they
No, the
packaged
camera
all this
stopped rolling
food that
12 minutes ago.
Oh
No, there's
Oh,
no
see ya.
camera.
Anyway,
You think we recorded
the fake
this?
camera.
well, that was fun. That was fun. Peace
It's
out.
like that Seinfeld with the Merv Griffin set. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
What makes you upset?
Me?
Oh, Ed.
It's too
We
late.
never
The
got
episode's
that.
over.
No,
this is
no,
why.
keep it-
Here's what grinds my gears this week. It's a new thing, right? Delivery people, especially like Amazon, they leave your package, they take a photograph proving that they delivered it. But I find that they don't understand that it only works if they take the photograph far enough away to really see exactly where they left it in the background. I keep getting photographs, and all you see is a concrete slab behind the thing, and I don't recognize it. I live in a condominium complex, and my packages are often lost. If you're out there, if you're a delivery driver, DoorDash, and you're taking a picture, take it from far enough away so that we can actually reference the door, the home. Maybe it's got the address on there. That's what grinds my
Well,
gears.
maybe you don't want that because
want it.
No, listen. If it gets lost,
I want to
you can
find
be
my
like,
stuff.
That's not my house.
You can't
and then
argue.
they'll replace
you
it.
can't argue about his gripe. I mean, that's his gripe.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm saying maybe it's
what
to
is-
his benefit.
What is the value to me as a consumer of showing me a photograph of my package on a concrete slab that I cannot
That's
identify?
not for you. That's just proof of delivery.
No, it's proof of delivery to somewhere in the world. How do I know Amazon doesn't keep a stoop outside their place and just put all the packages on
It's
there?
intended to be proof of delivery to Amazon.
That's their whole business model to steal from Ed.
That's right.
I'm
Oh,
telling
wait,
you.
hold on. I have a good ending.
Yeah.
This is Brown and Crouppen. We're 3 lawyers, and we're licensed by the state of Missouri to do this.
What? And also Illinois.
I think we can. I think that'd be a good
Kansas.
thing.
Yeah,
we're
that's right.
licensed by the state of Missouri to do.
You know what? In all seriousness, please, if you like this or even tolerate it, please like and subscribe and watch it again.
You got
And
to
tell your
subscribe.
friends.
I promise that we'll do better next time.
No, don't.
That's going to be our ending every time.
tell your friends to stay up late
That's
and
like what's his name?
go eat.
Wilbon does it.
All right.
Thank
How
you,
many
guys.
endings are we going to have? These guys are dying to get out of here. They got places
Okay.
to be.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm right in the crack.
Yeah, that's what he asks.
Daughter.
Okay, here's one.
It's not going to do any good in the
I was going to tell him to hit me so I could tell if that would be.
You know what? I'm going to call my friend.
Do that. Yeah, I mean, they could give you a very good
They work
idea.
more with the spine.
Yeah.
You know, the neurologist is going to be.
You know what they would, but they would know what the chances are. What do you think? I don't think it would kill me.
Kill you.
I have something
You think we?
Mike Tyson watching you?
Yes, for sure.
Kill you.
I'm going to get.
It didn't kill the Zach Galifianakis in that movie.
Oh, come on.
Come on. I'm going to get my friend.
I don't
Zach,
think it
who's
would
a
kill me. I don't
neurosurgeon,
think it would kill
to
me.
send in a video, or maybe we can call him during the next podcast.
I would like to know.
Bye, Saga.